Dr. Lena Okoro, an African-born zoologist and behavioral ecologist, stands at the edge of Namibia's ancient dunes. Behind her, a mobile outpost hums quietly. Ahead lies the vast, haunting emptiness of the Namib River Valley. She's here on assignment, but not the usual kind. 2 conservation rangers and an entire documentary crew have vanished. No signs, no struggle, only silence. Lena's mission is clear. Deploy satellite collars on a reclusive desert elephant herd and observe migratory shifts. But there's tension underneath the scientific task. Whispers among locals, GPS glitches, and blurred footage from the last drone feed. The elephants haven't just disappeared. They're withdrawing, vanishing into zones where memory and myth overlap. Namibia's desert elephants are survivors. Evolution's testament to adaptation. But what happens when the environment changes not just the body, but the mind? As Lena steps into the dunes, we are told,
"The desert doesn't forget. And the elephants, maybe, remember too much."
Lena's local guide, Kazi, insists they avoid the western migration trail. "The land is cursed," he mutters, checking the fuel twice. He shows her an old map with hand-drawn symbols overlaid. Bones, fire, storms, and a circle around a place called Shining Salt. Lena, rational and sharp, dismisses it, but notes his trembling hands. The herd is found, led by a matriarch named Kovero, larger and older than any Lena has seen. The elephants move with eerie precision, their routes perfectly mirrored to old migratory paths, but they now double back at odd intervals. Lena notices they never drink from the northern ponds, even when dying of thirst. At night, Lena hears no trumpet calls, no growls, no calf bleats, just the wind and shifting sand. She plays back an audio recorder from one of the previous rangers. There's a scream, a loud rumble, then silence. The scream wasn't human. Lena stumbles across a mound of disturbed earth beside a dried-up riverbed. Bones protrude, human, tusked, all mixed. Old boot soles. Bullet casings. She finds a broken collar, one of hers. Stamped on it. Property of Project Veretta, 1978. A program that officially never existed. Without warning, the herd stops under moonlight and begins to dig. Not for water, for something else. Kovero pulls up an old radio, rusted and shattered.
They never forgot where it was.
Lena breathes. Satellite data reveals something strange. The elephants are walking in spirals, each tighter than the last. The shape matches ancient sand rock carvings found 300 miles away. Lena overlays the patterns. The center of the spiral is where the rangers vanished. Lena sends her assistant to retrieve an extra collar kit. His signal fades 2 hours in. Later, the drone camera catches his jeep. Doors open, headlights on, engine still running. No blood, just a trail of elephant prints. Circling the vehicle. Not passing it, circling. In her tent, Lena examines a photograph taken by the missing film crew. Kovero standing over a skull. On closer look, the skull has military insignia etched in the forehead bone. Not carved, branded. Who were these people? And why did the elephants bury them? Lena explores a ridge marked Forbidden on Kazi's map. There she finds half-collapsed crates, expired rations, surgical tools, and maps labeled in a foreign language. One has the words Target Herd Alpha, Echo scrawled in red. This wasn't research. It was extermination. One night, a calf stands perfectly still beside her outpost, watching Lena. Hours pass. It doesn't blink, doesn't move. At dawn, it collapses, dead of exhaustion. Beneath its body, an old GoPro wrapped in hide. On it, footage of the missing crew, running from something massive that never enters frame. She finally finds one of the rangers. His body calcified in salt, bloodless, untouched by scavengers. Kazi whispers, "The desert is returning them." Lena stares across the vast dunes and whispers back. Returning them to who? Kazi shows Lena satellite loops from 5 years of herd migration. They always return to the same 5 points, forming a perfect star pattern. Each point marks a documented elephant massacre. They're remembering. But more than that, they're recreating. Lena ventures close to Kovaro, holding out a hand. The matriarch doesn't attack. She lowers her head and touches Lena's forehead with her trunk. A vision crashes through. Fire, floodlights, screaming elephants, and soldiers laughing. Lena collapses. The herd leads her west to the coast, where rusted ships rot in the sand. The elephants dig. Not water this time, but bones and dog tags. Human names, foreign accents, long erased from public records. What happened here was hidden. Now the desert is exhuming it. Kazi breaks. He was a young guide for a mercenary team who hunted rogue elephants during Namibia's bush war. The mission went wrong. He sobs.
They screamed like men. They screamed like they remembered who we were.
Lena's dreams now bleed into waking. She sees through Kovaro's eyes. Generations of memory passed on through scent, sound, and silence. She realizes, this isn't vengeance. This is ritualized remembrance. Kazi wakes Lena before dawn. He's shaken, pointing to the trackers. The herd is moving in perfect circles, hour after hour, as if bound to an invisible tether across the dunes.
They're not migrating,
he says, voice cracking.
They're tracing something a memory burned into the earth.
Alone in the early light, Lena approaches Elephant Kovaro once more. The matriarch doesn't flee. Instead, she lowers her massive head until her temple brushes Lena's. Suddenly, Lena collapses into a vision. Desert fires, thunder, human screams, and the unmistakable sensation of being hunted, not by men, but by something ancient, buried and watching. They follow the herd to the desolate edge of the skeleton coast, where rusting shipwrecks jut from the sand like forgotten bones. Here, the elephants begin to dig, methodically, ritualistically, revealing fragments of old tusks, jewelry, and human remains wrapped in military fabric. Lena recognizes an insignia, a foreign mercenary unit active during the war. Something was buried here, and it was never meant to be found. Kazi finally confesses. Years ago, he served as a guide for a covert military team sent to hunt a rogue elephant herd believed to be disrupting supply lines. They massacred dozens, including calves.
They scream like people,
he mutters, tears carving lines in his dust-caked face. That night, the sandstorm came, and only he survived.
The herd you follow, they're not the same anymore.
The satellite data reveals something chilling. The elephants are retracing the exact path the poachers, soldiers, and now Lena's team have taken over the years. Every poacher camp, every waterhole defiled, every tree felled, they're following it in reverse. Lena tries to transmit her findings, but the outpost systems begin to fail. Lights flicker, power dies, GPS spins in circles. Outside, the desert is unnaturally quiet. In the sky, a strange aurora pulses faintly above the dunes, and every elephant freezes in place, staring toward the Hoanib River. Something is coming. That night, Lena hears the herd approaching, not with the thunder of hooves, but with absolute silence. Kovaro leads them past her camp, every step deliberate, synchronized, reverent. In their wake, Lena sees the earth shift, bones rising where none should be, and the ghosts of the past walking beside the living. At dawn, Lena walks alone through the salt pan, now eerily quiet. No sign of the herd remains, only deep, perfect footprints in the sand spiraling outward like a mandala etched by memory itself. She buries the last remaining satellite collar beside the bones, marking the spot not with a plaque, but a myrrh branch. Her report to the Foundation will never mention what truly happened. No one would believe her. But she knows now. The elephants don't forget. And neither will she. Weeks later, a new research team arrives to relieve Lena. They find the outpost clean, Lena's belongings gone, but a notebook left behind, open to one page. They remember for all of us. As the sun sets, one of the new researchers hears something strange. A distant rumble, but not from a storm. Beneath the acacia trees, shadowed by the dying light, Massive shapes move silently, watching. The wind shifts. The desert holds its breath again. Title callback. As Lena's notebook whispers.
They remember for all of us. The desert does not forget.